everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Washington Redskins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook. For the guy calling plays, 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now Roethlisberger on first down. This is Bell on the dump off. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
No gain, and it's 2nd down. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. They'll go again with Bell. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger finding time. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
And a first carry of the game here for Trey Mason. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
A one-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of one-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional one-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Still 9 yards to go on third down. On third down, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. We focus our attention on the Redskins defense now. And they got to be feeling good about forcing that long missed field goal the last go-around.
And you know what upsets a kicker more than anything? Is missing a kick they think they can make and feeling like the other side believes that they had something to do with it. And it doesn't matter to those guys on defense. I know. They're taking full credit. Yep, we forced him into the miss, and they're going to ride that confidence the rest of the way. We'll see if the kicker's able to get his confidence back as well.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. All right, this is a guy that needs no introduction to the league. He has been around quite a while.
And it's good that they have him because when he looks around his huddle, He may not have guys with the same experience he has, maybe some of the youngsters, and his veteran leadership should help them along the way.
Starting the drive with Mason on the ground. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain. And this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here. So they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's...
And he's going to take it. Touchdown. Ben Roethlisberger, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead.
Partner, it wasn't that long ago that when I talk with these NFL coaches about different innovations in the college game, you can see their eyes roll and they just shut down right away. Don't bring me that Joe College stuff. Well, guess what? The college game has definitely infiltrated its way into the NFL.
Yeah, and these guys, when you're seeing the option defensively, you got to stick to your assignments. I know that's cliche. They didn't do it there.
And option football means exactly what you just talked about, assignment football for defenders. And that drives them crazy because you have to think your way through a play as opposed to just reacting and making the play.
The drive begins with Mason. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
They go play action here on first down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6. Prater on to add the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers defense getting ready here. Start the drive to Mason. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I'm actually surprised they didn't get out of that play. I didn't see anyone pressing the line of scrimmage for the defense.
Here we go now. Green. No. Check. Patriot. Here we go now. Green.
Cousins now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Cousins from the gun on third. Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. And some room to maneuver. And he brings... This one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On the ground again, it's Mason. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Trey Mason. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. Before taking the hit, but incomplete. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now here comes the Redskin defense heading back onto the field. And maybe for them at this stage, it's sort of put up or shut up time. They need to stop trailing here.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that one. They've got to go out there now and put an end to what's been going on in this ball game where they've just given up points, got pushed around, so to speak, during this contest. They've got to find a way to end it right here, right now.
Can they end it? Let's find out. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw in that play. No gain.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. He's going to get the football. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's got time. Right side complete. That's Woods. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So it'll be first down here after the run.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And this one's incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. 3rd down here. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it is incomplete. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punt.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Ben on 3rd and long. It's caught. Cameron left side. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. A chance for us again to look at this Pittsburgh defense. And they dug down last drive on 4th down, got the stop on their side of the field. You play defense, Charles. How huge is that on this drive?
Can't even really quantify it because you're talking about field position, momentum, that element of feeling like we're the tougher team, because when you stop someone on 4th down, in a sense, you're imposing your will on the other team, and that's exactly what they did, and that should permeate through the rest of the ball club.
Yeah, now who will impose their will on this drive?
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zones, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here we go now. Green, 39 now. Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. These short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are. But on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are. And that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
They'll run for it with Mason. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, Really well done. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun now on third down. Over the middle to Garcon. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only one on that play.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit.
Yeah, you heard it, right?
Exhale.
You heard the exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, if they can just tighten.
It's what they want to do, tighten down everything they're doing, and then maybe explode at the right time.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. On third down, Roethlisberger. And got a man. It's Woods. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. A screen to Bell. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Now Roethlisberger on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage. Back. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action.
Easy. Blue 30. Wait a second. Hey, check Mike 57.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
4 down. Check. Quarter. Check.
On third down, here's Bell. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They go play action here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now back to throw. Right side caught by Jackson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done. Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
On third down, Roethlisberger surveying the field. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
This is brought in at the 21. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. And now it's third down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And fourth down coming up. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
The Washington defense getting ready. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3-and-out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3-and-outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here. See if they can force another 3-and-out. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age. But then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he's got him. It's the tight end Cameron. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. So they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. And now here comes the Steelers defense once more. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense and said, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. They'll set up a throw. Caught left side, Garcon. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for them, too.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's caught by Garcon. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll look to throw again. Out to the left here to Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a 2nd game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a...
And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
He'll drop to throw. Caught on the right side, Reed. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And able to find Garcon. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Trey Mason, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew.
Look at this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked up on the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Josh Norman with a pick. He can be such a tone setter for a defense.
His confidence has grown from his first snaps in the NFL. Found his place, found his way, and now everyone just wants to avoid throwing the football in his direction.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And they're going to speed things up here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play up. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on third.
Here we go. Let's go.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And on 2nd and 10 now. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Roethlisberger. And got a man, it's Woods. And he's brought down after a good game. A good pickup there at 20 yards.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. Now Roethlisberger to throw. A screen to Bell. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
4 down, 4 down.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And able to find Conley. He's at the 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chris Conley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
But it was stopped on that play. We said plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, to see if the defense, they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he whips that one incomplete there.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A gain of 39 that time.
It's bad enough watching all the highlight reels, watching guys in warm-ups, going up and making these incredible one-handed acrobatic catches. But when it happens right in front of you, when you're defending him, that just makes your day that much longer, and you just wonder, how are we ever going to cover these guys?
They'll look to throw again. Got a man, it's Jackson. Redskins touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. So here are the Redskins now, an important 2-point conversion.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll try and throw for it. That's caught at the 3. But he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer.
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. It's a big run that time by Bell. 65 yards on the ground. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now Bell, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. 2nd and goal to go now. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Come on now, let's go. Win the rep. This is our rep to win. Win the rep. Let's win right here. Let's win right here.
Here's the option going right. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. A good job there defensively to stop him for a gain of just 4, and that'll bring up 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. And it's a short kick taken right around the 19. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, Every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. On the catch, it's Crowder. Touchdown, Washington! Jamison Crowder with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert, and then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard and the time left on the clock, as you noted? So many things to go through.
Here's the Redskin defense. They get set for this next possession. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining, but a first down likely ends this thing.
And it looks like they are, to coin a phrase, on the defensive here, right? But in fact, the team on offense has to be really careful because they're going to attack like...
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A give to Bell. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Le'Veon Bell. Kiss him goodbye. Past the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Well, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he's taken it all the way back for the return touchdown. And this game just got a little crazier. They're still alive here in the final stages.
So you're saying there's a chance.
And that big 4th quarter return, Charles, makes this a 1-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had the big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
And it's the Steelers that come up with it. And that should just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Roethlisberger dropping to a knee, and that ought to do it. Here's Jordan Berry now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Well, Charles, the forecast call.
Hard to admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, stews in a bedroom, booze in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, a little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus, rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of deer in the light, I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize, I let my skills deteriorate. Horned about a thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction, a missing a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids at a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil or a linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture, back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right, or a torso hung on a warping spine. In proportion reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury your life. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings.